Welcome back to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity. Last time, we sorted things out, although things didn't end well, in the Brackenbury Sanitarium. And we also cleaned up Heritage Hill. We also have an ally in Lady Webb, who is sympathetic in our journey to find and defeat the Leaden Key. Our third lead brings us to the Deerford. Back to the Deerford, I guess I should say. Beadmar's still not here. Oh wait, no, Beadmar is there. I just didn't see him.
Out with you! I already told you what... I'm sorry. I thought you were one of those ruffians.
Poor fellow. That looks painful. It's a sorry deed, striking a priest.
How may I help you?
What happened to you?
I never saw their faces. Strange hooded men asking about those ruins. Clearbon Relock. Most of the brigands who come through here asking about the ruins are looking for a few ancient trinkets. But these people knew the name. They were in a hurry. They wanted to know where Clearbon Relock was. I tried to keep it from them, but I couldn't hold out forever. I don't know what they were up to, but it can't be good.
Aloth looks at you, frowning. That does sound like the Leaden Key, doesn't it? Can you tell me where to find the ruin?
Lord Father tribe that guards the ruins will kill anyone who trespasses there. They'll retaliate against us, too. History is any indication. We've had too many fortune seekers stir up trouble of late. If I'm to tell you, I'll need to know your reason for wanting to go.
A dangerous plot is unfolding there. I've got to stop it.
If that's the case, we may already have trouble headed our way. I'll have to take you at your word. You'll find Clearbon Relock here. Whatever trouble you find there, please end it quietly and try to stay out of the ruins.
Clearbon Relock. Is that also where Adair needs to go? Or wants to go? Yeah, okay. Who'd have guessed that there was a zone that was actually locked behind the main story? I'm not happy about it. I think that I should have been able to go wherever, whenever.
Can I, talk to your, your friend?
What is it about Isilmir? I'm right here, you know.
No, you're both great. It's just, well, I feel like I don't get to spend as much time with her, and she's just so funny. I mean, some of the things she says
Are not nearly as funny when you've been hearing them for 50 years.
Oh, right, I need to set construction up. Library... The library is the last thing. Cool. And then all my money can go into gear and supplies. So I need to head north from the crossing. Oh. Never mind. It wasn't story locked, most likely. I just never actually went up here. Let's see. There's a pretty good patch of land up here. Although, I'm not sure if this is the White March or if this is. I really should get that DLC. Although at the same time, I don't want this LP to last forever.
This is the place. The Big Brother's last battle. Wish I could tell you what we're looking for. Anything from that battle, I guess. Whatever 15 years of rain hasn't buried. You see my brother's ghost, you give me a holler, all right?
Lavender and Lye. Lavender wreath, major item, 1 to 2 average items. You can read that if you want. Let's send our rogue. Yeah, I think he's a ranger, actually. No, a rogue. I don't know. I haven't actually used him. Not an enormous map. A man stands before you, his face smeared with green and ochre dyes. Hides and furs cover his body, and he holds a spear in one hand.
Tread carefully, Esther.
He bares teeth that have been filed to fine points. Back to your village, Estramore. You're lucky the 3 tusks Stelgar hunt other quarry today. I'm looking for a group of people who may have already entered the ruin. So are we. He runs his thumb along the smooth wood of the spear. That is why we wait here, Estramore. That is why I've decided to let you leave in peace. These individuals are my enemies, too. If you let me in, I could bring them out for you. He laughs. And allow even more Estramorwen to trample around sacred ground? Certainly not. Well, you already messed up once. What's the harm of doing it again on our account, seeing as we're probably much nicer people? Well, what will you do? We will wait. If they are inside, they must come out. And when they do... He slides a fingertip along the point of his spear and shows you the drop of blood. What do you know about Cleobon Relog? It is a sacred place of power. No, it is a sacred place of the builders, and neither your feet nor ours shall sully its stones. The grasses, however... He grins and hefts his spear. I will gladly water with your blood. I've never heard of the builders. He makes an exasperated clicking noise with his tongue. They are known by other names in the heathen tongues of farm folk. They are the ancients who built this place and many others like it. And we of the 6 tribes guard their legacy. 3 tusks Stelgar? His snarling grin widens. Have the farmers grown too fearful to even mention our name? We are the fiercest of the 6 tribes of Erglonfoth, and we are the guardians of the monument here. Well, I'll be going, I guess.
Not much here.
I'll deal with them if I have to.
Too recent.
Orland's Bramble Ring. Freedom, defense against hobbled, stop paralyzed attacks, and pierce proof. Let's see.
I think I see... No. Never mind. Nothing over here. I guess they cleaned up real good after the battle. This is embarrassing.
Alistair. He reminds me of Alistair. That's why I like him so much.
Those face painters can't guard that place forever.
Oh,
These ruins are claimed, friend. On your way.
No need to get riled, boys. Just passing by.
Look at his talisman bag. How about that? A godless sack of shit. We got a blazing corpse worshiper on our hands.
Actually, they never found the body.
Only reason for the legacy is because the Duke doesn't got the guts to see you all slaughtered. The gods want you dead. Me and Lick your cracks now. Got no god or homeland to avenge you. I'm Margaret, this'll be short work.
Do you always swear by your god when you do a devil's work?
Doesn't matter who it was for anyway. Country's better for the purges. Maybe we start a new purge right here.
I assume the Mogren response was something like, "Hey, moron, that's not what Mogren would want," or something. Why did they think they could take on 6 people?
That was short work.
Fine, fine. Exceptional breastplate. Awesome. Money. A broken bridge lies before you. Most of it appears to have crumbled into the river centuries ago, leaving 2 jagged edges on either side of the water. You see a yawning passage into the mountain on the other side. You might be able to jump across the gap. Jump to the other side. Really? Really, Aloth? Whatever, you don't need deflection. Oh, I forgot to switch Sagani back to her bow. Whoops.
Sure.
There we go.
That's for my friends.
That's gonna lead me right into the people, the Glanfathans.
You might find this interesting.
Another good example of why can't you auto-pause on trap detection.
Laying low. We're not getting...
Really? Ugh.
I'll see what I can do. The work of a moment.
The work of a moment.
Quiet minute.
Or at least cancel movement. Animots. Within daggers and shields and... Oh! Shattered Animot armor. And binding copper. The Animot armor is vendor trash, apparently. Sura's supper plate. Retaliation. Characters hitting self. Huh. And tiny Animot pet. I love the stupid little pets you can get in this game. Like, they don't do anything. They're just there. Because reasons.
Hey.
Not a sound.
Oh, there are multiple levels to the ruin. Hmm.
Leave it to me. You're not getting through.
That one hit true.
You're not getting through me.
Plowing through these dungeons and quests is actually kind of relaxing.
Can't get a good shot with this.
Leave it to me.
Just knowing I don't have to worry too much about tactics. Mushrooms. It's a giant mushroom. Maybe it's friendly. It's not going to be a giant friendly mushroom. Much to my dismay.
Yes.
Alright, let's fix my formation there.
Leave it to me.
Honestly, I'm impressed that I'm at a point where I actually want to use a camping supply here. Now I'm not even impressed, I'm just angry. Whatever, just freaking pile on it.
That one hit true. That's for my friends. Can't get a good shot with this. Aha!
That's it.
At once.
Just camp. Just camp. So many spores. Too many spores.
Hey. Be on
What? Ooh. Traps in this game make me mad. There's still stuff up here. Why is not everyone... tell me that Itamok isn't just gonna automatically come with oh, good, good. I would be mad if Itamok wasn't coming.
Of course.
Swamp Lurker. Drops Awakened Roots. Blizzard's double. I mentioned before, and I feel like I should repeat, I know that, honestly, I probably should be using potions and scrolls way more, but unless the game is clearly balanced around it like The Witcher, I don't tend to use a lot of buff potions. Especially these, oh, they only work for one hit ones. If I'm being real, if I upgrade everything to exceptional, then I should be fine to move on through the dungeon. Or the endless paths, specifically. But I just don't have
The work of a moment.
I don't have the gems I need for that, unfortunately. Is that an Audra dragon? A man and a woman carved from lustrous Audra. Oh. Pour the contents of a vase.
Leave it to me.
Oh. No, Hana has the advantage on AoE. Blunderbuss. I think that's the first one we've seen. Club and Bloodstone. At least they're missing.
You're not getting through me.
Dead on.
I shall be quiet as a calm sea, which is not very.
Hey,
There's a skeleton.
you're not getting through me.
I missed what potion that was. Oh well.
You're not getting through me. Hey,
Um. Four egg-shaped stones. Huh. Let's see. Honestly, I'm half tempted to go try the dragon fight at this point. Oh, that's... oh. For some reason, I thought the lighter ones were actually Primal Wind for some reason.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, go ahead and spend 3 lockpicks. Oh, those were the cultists. I didn't check over here in great depth. Adra Animat.
Worse than rot.
Leave it to me.
That's not very helpful.
What's this? The core. Perception +2. Some awakened Adra.
I'd be glad to.
Yeah, regular animats are animates, really. Duh. Because they're animated armor and Adra.
Alright then.
Well, binding coppers are no longer difficult to find. back on level 1. It's another one of those things. A haze of essence lingers over the body, as faint and insubstantial as a dust plume in a rider's wake. Yet as you draw closer, whispered instructions echo in your ears and anticipation warms your blood. In a vision, you see the same stone machine you approached moments ago, but from a different height and angle, as if through different eyes. You'd heard rumors that some of your brethren were sent here months before, yet you see no sign that anyone has been here. In fact, the cobblestones are covered in a fine layer of dust. Ash. You suddenly know what this will cost you, and you are ready. The orders were clear. The effects of the machine in Cleobon Rilog are wearing off. A child had been born not far from Deerford recently, its soul intact. The machine would need to be reactivated. You and your companions take up your positions. You share a final look of affirmation between yourselves. They don't know your name and you don't know theirs, but you know that you're doing the work of the gods together. None of the rest matters. Two carved bands of stone in the middle of the machine grind into motion. They rotate in opposite directions, picking up speed until they spin like freshly greased carriage wheels. A wind shrieks through the cavern, accelerating with the stone rings. You press your hands to your ears and grit your teeth against the noise. You're about to shut your eyes when you glimpse new movement. Rows of triangular flaps around the machine open like petals. You don't know what's happening in the machine, but you feel a tingling at your extremities. Searing pain spreads through your body, a hot knife separating every tissue and ligament within you. All the while, it feels as if you're falling toward the machine, your stomach mashed against your spine. What happens next is too fast to process. You awaken from the vision to find yourself kneeling and gasping for air. Holding your head, you let the tiles between your knees gradually come into focus. As you catch your breath, you remember the strange scene you saw outside Sealant Lee, where several robed figures fell amidst a howling Beowick. Looking at the ash scattered across the cavern floor, it is apparent that the Leaden Key has been doing this, whatever it is, all over the Deerwood.
Hey.
It's because of these things. That's what the legacy is all about. Huh. Way to the tunnel. Huh. So these things really should be destroyed. Let's head back to Lady Webb. Clear the gap without incident. Oh, what? Over by that boat. What boat? I don't even see a boat, Adair. Set it around here. Oh. A Reed Sarin standard piece. The tip of some metal object protrudes from a mound. Oh, that's the boat. From a mound of watery river silt. With both hands, you and Adair begin digging in the mud until the object is dislodged. You close your hand around it and pull it from the wet earth. The object is a steel semicircular frame about the size of your fist. At even points around the semicircle, jagged points jut out like tongues of flame, the rays of a rising sun. At the sun's center is the carved silhouette of a Vorlaw
I've seen
plant.
these before. Top the standards of Raid Saris. Or David and Waidwen were alive. That's something. Just not sure what it gets me.
Dunreed Rowe might be able to make something of it. It's a thought. A lot of people would have touched this. Standard bearers a position of honor in most places, but the Riad Sarans actually took it to fighting for it, what I heard. Serious bunch. It's not a lot to hang hopes on, but hey, we were lucky to find anything at all. So it's back to Defiance Bay, I guess. Unless we spot my brother's bones lying around on our way out. Okay. Conveniently, we had to go to that building anyway. Achievement unlocked. All upgrades in Stronghold.
Perhaps rest is in order?
Wait, I'm actually fatigued. Huh. So I have nothing else to do for construction. Maybe Curran can help.
Gods keep you.
I want to trace a man who might have touched this item. He looks it over, his ears twitching with interest. From a war standard, yes? Read Sarah's? Yes, I believe I can be of assistance here. The imprint isn't fresh, but it's well preserved for the most part. If you're looking for someone, your rather unusual gift may be of value here. Images can be fleeting. Your target will be easier to identify by the makeup of his soul. I will share what I see. It will be to you to make sense of it. You'll pardon my presence in your mind. All for a good cause. He takes you by the hand, holding the steel sun in the other. Now, clear your mind of all wayward thoughts. You close your eyes and concentrate. The sun is bright in your mind's eye, warm with the pulse of collective experience and noisy with the thoughts of the past. Of battle, of faith, of home. You drift from voice to voice, thought to thought. Adair's soul a vibrant signature with which to locate his brother. One voice stands out amidst the din, brassy and earnest, a shade brighter than Adair's, but unmistakably of the same construction. You have no image of its owner, but his journey is imprinted within the points and curves of the steel sun, and in your mind it opens before you as a path stretching both southward to Gilded Vale, and northward over the uneven terrain that joins the Deerwood to Riad Saris. You trace the path back to its origin, far back as you can find, gliding over plains and hillsides, to a one-room home in Gilded Vale with a thatched roof and a dirt floor. The path is faint here, its distance and time rendering images blurry and details scarce. From Gilded Vale it follows a road toward Madmer Bridge, reaching the gates of Defiance Bay before diverting abruptly, cutting northward in a beeline for Riad Saris. The path leads to a Riad Saran city, regal and austere in the Adir imperial style. It winds through streets and climbs a grand set of stairs into a stately building, passing through pointed archways into what appears to be a throne room. Upon the throne is a man whose head is pure, blinding light, and as its gaze turns to you, the light drowns out all else. Its voice carries the force of thunder, but its words are impossible to make out in the imprint. Echoes of echoes. The voice and light fade, and the path bends backwards, carrying you along to a barracks, then back southward, marching into Deerwood and skirmishing along the way. Upon one battlefield, the imprint is vivid, and you see a Ried Saren standard topped with a steel sun, clutched in the hands of a fallen soldier. You see a young man in Ried Saren armor with a dare straw-colored hair race toward the standard and lift it, the path you've been following clear to see beneath his feet, and as his hand brushes the steel tip, you can hear his thoughts racing in a blur, and they are of his god and his country and a brother he hopes is far away from this place. In an instant, your thoughts are gone. The thoughts are gone as well as the man, and the standard is passed to another soldier. You pick the path up again as it meanders south and disintegrates in the shadow of Cleobon Relog. You open your eyes.
Anything? Looks like you were working real hard there.
Your brother got as far as Defiance Bay before turning to Ried Saris instead. He met Waidwen there, then he enlisted.
What did he talk about with Waidwen?
I don't know.
That's not funny. Come on. That metal sun, my brother touched it. You saw where he went. And what did he talk about with Waidwen? Why'd my brother fight for Ray and Saris?
I wish I had something better to tell you.
Guess that's it.
You'll find some other way to know why he did what he did.
I don't think we will. What would we do? For more war relics? We were lucky to find this one. Soldiers that fought with him are long dead. Battle was a massacre. Whatever Aethys knows, he's not talking to anyone.
We can go now. I've seen what I needed to see. I wish I could have been more of a help. You have my sympathies. As often as an item shows us what we need to know, it will disappoint. My files are full of cases that have run cold. On bad days, I think often of leaving, applying my skills to something less confounding. Sorry, Adair. Okay, let's do a little bit of management. I think I can... Honestly, I think I can afford to drop a little bit of security in favor of... prestige. I still want to stay under a 1-to-1 ratio. That should be good. Nope, no. Upstairs. Lady Webb, there's something I can tell you about Leaden Key's operations.
Well, let's hear it.
The Leaden Key is manipulating a group of Angwithan machines that span the country, and it seems to be causing the Hollowborn epidemic.
I had feared they might be involved in Waidwen's legacy. It seemed too extreme even for them. How naive I've been. The Leaden Key's conspiracy is clear now. They have used Angwithan technology to engineer Waidwen's legacy, and they want people to blame animancy for it. As we speak, the Duke is holding hearings in the palace. He is listening to arguments for and against animancy. When they finish, he is expected to decide whether to outlaw it. It seems the Leaden Key has been pushing Deerwood down this path for some time. I, for one, would enjoy seeing their little scheme fouled up at the last moment. Our Duke must hear what you have to say. Unfortunately, the hearings are closed to the public, which makes the Duke inaccessible until they are completed. However, certain groups have been invited to attend. You might get in with one of them if you aren't above a little pandering. There are delegations from the Knights of the Crucible, the Dozens, and from House Dominel. One of those groups, that See what you can arrange.
Alright, looks like we're going to ask the dozens for a favor. Because that is the only faction that actually likes us. Knights of the Crucible were kind of pissed off at us for actually allying with the dozens.
Might do us some good.
Where, rest. Let me make sure. Yeah, I'm at +2 with the dozens. Wish I had the opportunity to be a +3, but... You know what? While I'm here...
Hail and well met.
I'm buying your unique items. I'm buying all of them since I'm over here. And taking the chance to sell my own garbage. Not even unique items, just magical items. Wow, even with my selling, I'm actually going to be spending money. Well, I do have armor, so I'm not entirely sure yet. Although I have been looting less humanoids, so... Oh, this is gonna be a while. This is gonna be a bit of money spent, especially at the armor. Then again, I'm really going to make this money back pretty quickly. Between my adventures, selling loot, and I'm only really buying it to stock up my stash with cool items too. That's the sad part. Wenin. So the dozens are part of animancy hearings at the Ducal Palace?
Someone's got to keep up the lazy Crucible Knights from leading us all to ruin, and the Dominels certainly aren't doing their part. But Wolfgren's still a man of the people. He's always been sensible in all matters. He'll hear us out eventually.
I was hoping to attend the animancy hearings with the dozens. It'll be good to have you there under our banner. Someone's got to convince the Duke to abandon this folly. The Duke will hear the truth about animancy. Oh, I have to go talk to Lady Webb again. So much running around.
Next time we get the chance, I'm buying you a pint.
That means a lot, Adair.
Oh, do you want one too? Sorry, I meant for Isselmere. I'll get you one too.
Adair, you are being really creepy about Isselmere.
Tired. Just me?
Lady Webb?
How fares your search?
I went to discuss the animacy hearings at the palace.
What of them?
The dozens have accepted me into their delegation.
Of all the groups, it is the dozens that the Duke fears most. If you have their ear, you will most certainly have Avar's. You need waste no more time here. Get to the palace. Make your case to the Duke. With him on our side, all of Deerwood can be mobilized against the Leaden Key, and Theos can be rooted out. I only wish I could be there to see it. There is a very old bottle of a very good brandy that I have been saving for a special day. If you hurry back afterward, there may be a little left for you. Off with you. You're going to do very well in there.
So the game can clearly automatically send me places. Why can't I just do that here? Oh well. Let's see, Ducal Palace is up here. hearings are... No, that's the Temple to Magrin. Hall of Records. I guess it would be over here then. Place has been reserved for you on the balcony. Go to the upper floor. Well, let's see. The room below is animated amidst a heated debate. All the representative groups are easily discerned in the crowd. Crucible Knights, still stiff in their noisy armor, sit in one section. In another are well-dressed members of House Dominel, casual, watching with a predator's interest. Still elsewhere are the ramshackle dozens, who have made no special effort to dress up for their liege lord. Interspersed are animancers in their academics' robes with expressions either sour or concerned.
Well then, answer me this, Master Barash. If you animancers represent our best hope to cure the legacy, what progress can you demonstrate?
As I've said, it isn't about progress, it's about potential.
My house would agree, Your Grace. We see great potential in its future.
And I suppose your blazing profits during the legacy don't have nothing to do with that, do they, Dominel? You can't have it both ways no more. Animancy goes, or this country goes.
So you admit, Master Baraz, that animancy is no closer to stopping the legacy than it ever was.
No, we've had many promising experiments. Cadman Azo has shown...
Cadman Azo murdered a child. For a complete failure. We should be hanging him right now for what he done. The dozens won't stand for it.
There is no need. Master Azo recently passed the shroud. And while the experiment failed, his work
was sabotaged.
Ah, our new delegate from the dozens. What makes you say sabotage?
I met a false patient in Brackenbury Sanitarium who had tampered with Azo's machinery.
The fuck's that even matter? These are people who would toy with the lives of our children.
Indeed. Even assuming there was sabotage, is this Animancer Azo not still accountable here?
Let's see here. This is not the Bale Reach incident. This is a responsible scientist who was manipulated. True. Those who know me around here know me to be fair in judgment. Cadman should be held innocent or guilty. No, let's go for the lower option. This is not the Bale Reach incident. This is a responsible scientist who was manipulated. Aloth whispers between gritted teeth. How can you call him responsible? You saw the state of the sanitarium.
Horseshit. These animancers can't be trusted. Look at what happened in Heritage Hill. Our supposed protectors from Crucible Keep can't even clean up the messes Animancy leaves.
Are you sure this is your delegate, Friedrich?
She won't be for long making claims like that.
Your Grace, we'd have a much easier time of it if our knights weren't so occupied trying to keep their organization from igniting a revolution on our very doorstep.
Heritage Hill is blood on your hands, Justicia. You turn a blind eye, and look what happens.
The Crucible Knights are blameless here. This was not the workings of animancy, but an ancient device in Noneth.
You've some strange taste in travels, Fred. The height of your tales expands with every breath.
My word isn't my oath. I challenge anyone here to find someone who knows different.
I had heard whispers of a new delegate set to attend today's hearing. I admit that your candor was mentioned more than once. Tell us what you saw in Heritage Hill.
Noneth houses an Engwithan machine that holds dominion over the flow of souls. It was this machine that made the district undead. Do you think that was the machine's purpose, or a dire side effect? Kana shudders. But then, why would the Engwithans build such a machine at all?
Even if it is as you say, we have testimony that a group of animancers had been spending time there. Surely their tinkering had something to do with this.
Their presence doesn't prove cause. This testimony is not evidence. It is a guess. Reasons to believe there were others at the tower who might have done this.
Animancy has many enemies. You need only look around this room to see it.
You're missing the point.
all know what Waidwen's legacy's really about. And it ain't about some sparkling saint from Creed Ceres who's mad because he took a stroll down the wrong bridge.
Ha! Wrong bridge indeed.
It's about a bunch of so-called intellectuals fucking with the natural order while the rest of us gotta suffer for it.
Is it, though? Should we not take the time to reach a clear conclusion? I mean, what proof do we have?
My son and daughter are buried beneath the floor of my house. We don't own no land, so that's what we did. My son, my wife with him sleep, she was bathing. Got water in his lungs he couldn't cough up. My daughter, we put her to bed, and that's more than she. That's all the more thing. It ain't ending. It ain't ending because we still let these charlatans play God. There's your proof, you damn copper fucker.
Enough, Adric. Lady Dominel makes a point. If it's animancy, then why do the other states that permit the practice not suffer the same fate? Who among us can say he truly understands why the legacy is taking root?
I can. The crowd begins to mutter, the sound taking a doubtful character. Right idea, Watcher. Taking this hearing by the curly ones. Don't waste your chance. Waidwen's legacy is the creation of the Leaden Key. Caedmon Azo's downfall was their work, as was the tower in Heritage Hill. They want you to do this. They want animancy to fall. The dull muttering expands into a din of skepticism that fills the hall. I have seen them in the ruins of Erglon Fath, operating machines that disrupt and redirect the flow of souls, near towns like Gilded Vale and Deerford, where the legacy is universal. As a watcher, I heard their dead confess their plot. They are stealing the souls of the unborn.
Beasts. Another lunatic at the hearing. Did you remember to lock your sanitarium before you left, Master Perez?
You shame your order by dismissing the truth before hearing it, madam. I expected better from a Knight of the Crucible. As the Duke says, no theory has more proof than any other. What's the harm in hearing one more? What's the harm in hearing one? I expected better from you.
You must know, friend, the Leaden Key is a mantle for small-time ruffians and children at play. I'm not saying you're a liar. Not yet. But you better start making sense of all this. Help us believe.
Okay, let's read all of these. What's more likely? That the gods are destroying Deerwood for a science practiced in many parts of the world, or that a group of people hates animancy and wants it suppressed? The Leaden Key is very real. They are foreigners from Adir and Riad Ceres who hate Deerwood and want to see us suffer. Let's say a lord is cuckolded by his wife. If he tells her to stop, she'll only want her lover more, but if he spreads a rumor that her lover has just visited a brothel and acquired a pox on his loins, she'll end it on her own. We all want the same thing. We want Waidwen's legacy to end. If we work together instead of arguing, we can stop the people who are doing this. If you know anything about me, you know this. I have been called many things, but never a liar. An honest witness is the best piece of evidence you have in this matter. I'm going to go with that one, although the first option is also very true. If I didn't have Honest 3, I would be going for that.
The only piece of evidence.
The only piece of evidence that doesn't send your kind to the gallows, you mean?
You've made an unexpected case, friend. I'd say that much. It seems we have a new possibility to consider, at the very least. How was it you came to learn of these?
The Martyrs of the Dozen supported my search for answers. Not really. That Within Ruin was completely unrelated, so I took a personal interest in the matter and tried to learn what I could.
Indeed. This land is foreign to you, unless I miss my guess. Your efforts on its behalf are to be commended. But these hearings are about more than Waidwen's legacy, even though that is our most pressing concern. Let's say for the moment that I were to take you at your word that our friends in Brackenbury Sanitarium and their peers bear no responsibility for this curse upon my country. I'm curious. What would you do if you were in my position?
I would allow animancers to continue their work. They explored questions we all wish to understand. If we'd known more, perhaps this crisis could have been averted. Animancy should be studied in Deerwood. If you don't, someone else will, and they will wield great power over you. The animancers of Deerwood have been given too long a leash. The practice should be restricted and controlled. In truth, I'm not completely confident Animancy doesn't have anything to do with Waidwen's legacy. It would be wise to ban the practice, at least for now. Animancy is too dangerous. We were not meant to use it, and we have proven why we are unworthy of it. It should be outlawed. If we'd known more, perhaps this crisis could have been averted, especially if we actually went into the Angwithan ruin, but still. Aloth shakes his head. Animancers serve their own ambitions in their own purses. Giving them this power is like setting a child loose in an armory.
Very well. That is all I wish to hear. Not just from you, but from everyone. Many days we've been at this. It is time we put it to rest.
This is the one thing on which we disagree greatly, Aloth.
I want to thank the delegations for helping me to collect my thoughts. In particular, I want to thank our new delegate, who has given me much to think about, and who alerted me to a new enemy I had failed to see. The time has come to choose a direction for the Deerwood. I am ready to make my pronouncement. Ramir D. Barash, representing the interests of animancers in Deerwood, step forward.
Your Grace.
It occurs to me now that my concerns about animancy may not outweigh its
Thanks, Theos.
Forgive me, Your Grace. We will accept no judgment but our own.
What's he doing?
Oh!
No! Avenge the Duke!
No, no, wait!
Stop this at once!
I'm giving you every chance to end this pursuit. Shall I end it for you? Another time. I'm already late.
This is not the time. The words, "Shall I end it for you?" ring in your ears. You find yourself gasping for breath, struggling to keep your own balance. You drop to a knee and watch as Theos hurries out of the building. The world dims around you, the screams and clashing of weapons fading to silence. All that remains are the words.
Shall I end it for you?
Theos stands at a pulpit high above an assembly of robed onlookers, you among them, clustered around a wide circular pit carved of stone. He addresses a woman bound backward over a large iron wheel overlooking the great stone maw. Many of the woman's fingers and toes are severed, and the bottoms of her feet are charred black. The skin on one side of her face looks like melted candle wax, black and red and seeping, and the angle of her back suggests a spine in ruin. Yet for all that, her expression betrays little of her anguish.
I am already at peace, Grand Inquisitor. Are you?
So be it. If you desire no end, you shall have none. I find you guilty of heresy. May the eternal prison bar your soul from passage, for it is beyond redemption.
He nods to a hooded attendant who begins untying her from the wheel. Hana was granted dominion of the sleepers. You open your eyes to the beamed ceiling of the palace's grand entry hall. The clangs of metal striking metal waft in from outside alongside the cries of the injured as you stagger to your feet. Theos is gone. Adair leans in, his head upside down in your sight as he peers down at you from above. Hey, you're alive. He looks you over, frowning. Can you move? We shouldn't stick around. When Deerwoodans get stirred up, they like to start burning things. Off to one side, you can hear the clinking rustle of chainmail, and you look over to see a wounded guard slumped against the wall. He's trying to say something, seemingly directed at you, but at first it is too faint to hear. He gathers his breath and manages to rasp out a few words. Lady Webb, she's the only... She must be told. She'll know what to do. Please, find her. Tell her everything. The guard passes out and slides to the floor, still. Opportunism! Sidley, what are you still doing here? Don't go out there. There's rioting in the streets. Let's go out the side entrance then. Oh, you weren't kidding, Adair. That entrance is blocked. Looks like the only way is directly to Brackenbury.
You're not...
The Animancer did nothing wrong. I don't care that I'm losing reputation. I'm saving an innocent life! I'm not getting involved there. Task failed, clandestine cargo.
I'm here. Love.
I don't care that I'm losing reputation here. In fact, it's stupid that I would lose reputation here. Wait, did I lose any? Doesn't look like it, thankfully.
Alright then.
Oh! Wow. This mortar is actually helping these Animancers. Okay. You live. Uh-oh.
I'll see what I can do. The work of a moment. I'll have it in no time. The work of a moment.
And then everything was terrible forever. What are you doing picking up scraps for? You're rich. I'm rich because I pick up scraps. kind of expected it.
I'll have it in no time. The work of a moment.
Lady Webb lies still in her bed, an ornate cushion propping her back upright. The blood pooled underneath a gash in her chest is tacky and nearly dry. A shattered glass rests on the floor beneath her dangling hand. You can feel the faint aura of her fading essence in your ken. You make contact and are immersed in a torrent of sensory input and experience. When it calms, you find yourself in the same room, lying in bed with a glass of brandy in your hand. Through the walls from the streets outside you come the sound of screams and shattering glass and the cacophony of an angry mob. You take a sip and it warms your gullet. Across the room, the door opens behind a patient, steady push. Into the room walks Theos, the floorboards creaking beneath deliberate steps. You wait until the last of the brandy has trickled down your throat before you speak.
I was a fool to think I could tame these people.
You came closer than most.
A fine epitaph.
No worse than any.
You are concentrating, focusing with all your energy. It feels as though you are diving into a stone wall over and over, but it cracks suddenly, unexpectedly, allowing the vaguest wisp of a thought to leak through.
What's in Twin Elms?
Did you pull that from my thoughts?
I've had time to practice.
He walks over to a small table and raises a half-empty brandy bottle to eye level. He seems to approve of the selection and begins to reach for an empty glass.
I was saving that for someone.
Pity. You know this is how it has to be.
His words come freely, absent of all doubt. He draws a long curved knife from his belt, smeared with fresh blood. With his left hand, he gently pins your sternum as he raises the knife in the other, its point dangling above your heart.
Prove it.
Theo slips the knife between your ribs and pushes it through. Layers of tissue separate with brittle, papery stiffness, and blood wells up around the blade. A pulse of reflex causes you to drop your glass to the floor, and you hear it shatter. With the last of your strength, you take his knife hand in both of yours, a question radiant in your mind. For an instant, to your great surprise, the pathway to his mind is left open to you, unguarded, and the answer comes. Simple, cataclysmic in its reordering of your thoughts. As Lady Webb, you feel as though you have an answer you've searched for all your life, but in your own mind, her understanding lies just beyond your reach. You look at Theos with the wide eyes of someone seeing for the first time, and draw your last breath as a black, velvety darkness descends over you. Act 2 complete.
Smoke rises above the city walls in billowing plumes that blacken the sky like a storm. Behind the walls, the riots rage on. Known patrons of Animancy are forced into hiding as looters ransack their estates and make off with their possessions. Animancers are torn away from their families and dragged from their homes to be stoned to death in the streets. Word had spread immediately that Duke Avar had been assassinated, and that an Animancer was to blame. The city wasted little time in exacting revenge, and little effort into evaluating guilt. In the center of it all, Brackenbury Sanitarium burned. And down the lane, Hodred House, the last bastion of stability in the Deerwood, had fallen silent. Now safely outside the city gate, your path points eastward to Twin Elms, where Theos is bound, for reasons that remain mysterious as the Leaden Key itself.
Well, at least my problem with spending too much time in Defiance Bay has been solved. How do I get to Elms Reach, though? Oh, Stormwall Gorge. As you cross the bridge, Aloth draws up beside you. The fires of Defiance Bay cast a shivering, flickering light across one half of his face. The other is in darkness.
Please stop. I need to tell you something.
Go ahead.
I have not been entirely honest about my motives for traveling with you up to this point. When I finished my training in Adia, I was introduced to an organization. All I knew was that they were opposed to the unchecked spread of animency, and that they could guarantee me postings far away from the Seathwood my father and his earl. At that time, it was enough. In the early years, I thought of them as many things. Hooded men, prudent teachers, the leaden key. Their rules were strict, but their guidance was clear. I sincerely believe they wanted to keep Kith from the folly of their own foolish ambitions. I came to the deal a little over a year ago. My orders were to gather information on animancy in the region. A senior contact met with me every few months to receive my reports and issue new leads. She sent me to Gilded Vale to keep an eye on events surrounding the local lord, but I lost track of her shortly after that. I don't know if she was reassigned, killed, or sacrificed the way you saw. At the time you met me, I'd been on my own for a couple of months.
What did you want from me?
I needed some kind of direction. After that scrape with the locals, I was ready to get out of town. But then you mentioned the hooded figures in the machine, and I was sure you were on the trail of the leaden key. And I was correct in a way. What we found wasn't what I expected. I knew the leaden key was trying to stop animancy, but I didn't realize how far they'd gone. Murder, sabotage, abandoning entire districts to shambling horrors. Now the whole city is up in flames. I'm still not sure about animancy, but I know I've been following the wrong master. Please, accept my apology and my service. Let me fight with you to stop Theos.
I forgive you, Aloth, but I want you beside me, not behind me. I'm not asking you to trade one master for another.
That would be an honor.
Let's go. Oh, Adair has something he wants to say.
Say what you want about your Woodens. They haven't met the problem yet that they couldn't solve by killing some scapegoats.
You fight for people because you see something there that deserves defending. Even more so because someone you trust sees it too. Then you turn around and they do something like this, and the person who made you want to help them is gone. People never fail to disappoint without guidance. You weren't really fighting for all of them, though. Just the ones I like, then? Maybe. Maybe. And it'd be nice if you got to choose. Tell the lowlives that if you die, it wouldn't be for their sorry hides. Never thought I'd find myself missing the hospitality back home. Anyone else?
Hey.
No? Well. Alright then. Next time on Let's Play Pillars of Eternity, you move on towards Twin Elms. See you guys then.